Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Nikki with Green Sprout Living. I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on my greenhouse. I'm going to be getting it ready for planting season in the next 3 to 4 months. This first video, I'm going to be talking about sanitizing and getting organized. So the first thing that we have to do is get everything out of the greenhouse. So I have to say thank you to this channel because it is helping me from being such a procrastinator. Usually I wait until about a week before I'm ready to plant and I am scurrying around trying to get everything sanitized and organized. So, and it's usually around 20 degrees outside and snowing. So now it's a little bit windy. I hope that my audio is doing okay, but it is not too bad of a day. It's about 60 degrees out. So I'll be able to get everything taken out of the inside of the greenhouse, kind of do an inventory on it so that way I know what I need to order and get everything sanitized and ready. So that way in the next 3 to 4 months, I will be able to plant and everything will be ready to go. So the first thing we have to do is get everything out. Okay, so as you can see, my greenhouse is pretty well packed, full of stuff. This is kind of my catch-all for the summer season because summer is an extremely busy time. So everything kind of just gets thrown in here and forgot about. We did put this shade cloth up because we were trying to lower the temperatures on the inside because in the summer it gets twice as hot. And the way this greenhouse was designed, it's really hard for us to leave the doors and the windows open because it does have a wood floor. And we are trying to prevent that from rotting too quickly. So this, however, did not work as well as we had planned. So we are gonna have to come up with something different for next season. So the first thing I need to do is get everything cleared out of here. I'm gonna take the shade cloth down and then we're gonna get the inside of the greenhouse sanitized. So I've got all the shade cloth taken down out of the greenhouse and I have all of the other stuff taken out. Now I'm going to sweep it up really good and then I'm going to sanitize the inside of my greenhouse. Okay, now that I have everything taken out of the inside of the greenhouse, I've got it all swept up really good. I'm going to do a little bit of an inventory and show you everything that I had cram packed into this small space. So first of all, let's start with all of my pots. Okay, this is an extreme amount of pots and a lot of people probably would not need this much for just a personal greenhouse. I have a ton of different kinds of trays and flats and pots and everything, and I usually reuse them. I have sold plants in the past, that's why I do have so many, but there is a lot that I didn't need to buy. I have to say the flats that you can buy, they're just basically, they're just a flat. They have no holes on the bottom. These come in handy, and these are one thing that I would suggest if you're going to invest in this. You don't have to. When I first started, I went to Dollar Tree and I got the metal tin baking sheets and they were just fine. I use a lot to bottom water and they're easier to transport the plants whenever you're wanting to move them in and out. So I do like these and they're pretty affordable. I get mine from the Greenhouse Mega Store. I'll put a link to their store description below. I'm not an affiliate for them. I just use their products. The ones that I would say you probably don't need, or I personally did not need, are the 128 cell. These I would say are more for like flowers or something like that. I did not use this. I tried to use them the first year and I used one flat and it just didn't really come in handy for me. So I probably will not buy these again. Actually, I'll probably just throw this away because I have a whole bunch more that I'll set back for later in case I decide to that I want to start growing these. But this one here, I'm not even going to waste my time cleaning up. I'm just going to throw it out. So the next one that I have is the 72 cell tray. These are a little bit wider, about the same depth, but I do like these. These work pretty good, and this is what I usually plant in. I have several of these, so I probably will not grow as many as I did last year. I've grown up to 600 plants out of this little bitty greenhouse, so probably not going to go that excessive this year. So I will clean up a couple of these, and the ones that are really brittle and breaking, I'll throw them out. The bad thing about storing your pots and things in the greenhouse is you're going to warp them, and they're going to get brittle, and they're going to break really easy. So definitely suggest not storing your pots and your flats in the greenhouse. I just don't have an option right now other than that, because we're space challenged. Here I'm going to set aside, and I'm going to get those cleaned up here in just a minute. I do have these holders, and these are for my little 3, I think these are, what are these? I think they're like 3 1/4 inch pots, and they're basically just holders. They're good for bottom watering. So, and I'll go through this in another video as far as show you how I water and everything. But they're really easy. They fit inside the flats really well, and you can take them in and out, and they're portable. So, and they're a lot easier whenever you're trying to sell, to keep them all upright. So those are not necessary. Like I say, this is definitely products that you don't necessarily have to have, but this is just what I've accumulated through the years. So I'm going to go through, inventory all of this stuff, throw out the ones that are broken, damaged, then I'm going to start sanitizing. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I put a mild soap solution in this tub with water, and I'm going to get all of the dirt and debris off. So this is pretty simple. I mean, you just, like you're doing dishes, get all of the dirt off of it. Then I'm going to rinse them off, and then I'm going to put bleach and water in this tub, and I'm going to let them sit. So I finally got all of my flats and my trays and all my pots and everything washed up and ready to go. Now it's time to sanitize them. I put 9 gallons of water into this tub. I'm not going to be able to do all of mine at once, but the ratio that I use is 9 gallons of water to 1 gallon of bleach. So it's a 9-to-1 ratio. Some people do not want to mess with bleach. I personally don't have bleach around my food and things like that, but for this instance, everywhere that I have done any kind of research or any kind of education that I have had does say that sanitation is important, and that it's a 9-to-1 ratio with a bleach mixture. This just helps keep back any kind of bacteria or organisms from growing, and keeps away pests and diseases. So I'm going to let these sit, and I let them sit for 10 minutes. Then you can rinse them. Now, just remember that whenever you mix your bleach up, it is 50% less effective within 2 hours. So you need to actually use this mixture up within a 2-hour period. So I'm hoping to get all of these sanitized within the 2 hours. So while these pots are sitting, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the solution for the inside of my greenhouse and get my greenhouse sprayed down as well. So that way I can get the inside of that sanitized. That may be overkill. Some people may say I don't need to do that, but I do sell some of my plants, so I want to take all the precautions that I can to make sure that I can prevent any kind of disease or pest pressure. Pots that I am sanitizing, those are not going to be pots that I'm going to sell. I will purchase, and I have purchased, new pots for the plants that I do sell. You probably can reuse them. That would be just fine, but I'm going to go ahead and get these soaked and get the greenhouse sanitized. All right, I am just going to be using a basic sprayer. You can get these anywhere at your local farm store. I am going to do the same ratio, a 9-to-1 ratio. However, instead of gallons, I'm going to use cups. So 9 cups of water to 1 cup of bleach. I already have it measured out. All right, so I am going to be spraying this inside here. You want to make sure that it is ventilated very well. You don't want to breathe any of this in. It's not good for you. You also probably should wear eye protection as well. You don't want any of that getting into your eyes. I am going to open up all the windows and the doors. Basically, all I'm going to do is spray down everything in here to prevent anything from growing, or any kind of pests that have laid their eggs or anything like this. This will kill it off. So I'm going to go ahead and get this sprayed down. Okay guys, now that I've got all the trays cleaned and sanitized, the inside of the greenhouse is sanitized and ready to go. All I have to do is put everything back in here where I want it to be. I usually put all my trays and my pots on this side next to my soil, and then I have my tools over here to work with. So that is all for this video. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, because on the next greenhouse video, I'm going to be talking about the tools that I use, how I care and sanitize them and organize them. So we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.